Hello, this is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. This is the second part of this amplifier repair. Now, today is probably the only video that I have music on because this is royalty-free music and I can play it. Well, because I have to test the amp, obviously. Now, this amp, oh my goodness, it took me a long time. Basically, I spent all night last night working on it because the electrolyte, the acid, ate up the board underneath throughout a few spots. By the time I found them all, it was something else. Plus, I replaced all the capacitors on this board and I ran out of 10 microfarads because I want to also replace the ones on this board, but these don't seem to be leaking right now, so I'm gonna leave them for now. I place an order for new capacitors, obviously. Now, those are the old ones laying down there. Those are the ones that I cut out and replaced with new ones. It did appear to me that whoever worked on this amplifier did not have 10 microfarad capacitors, because so this one right here, that's the right front, and this is left front. Here we had 10 from factory. This one was replaced with 4.7. I don't know why, because that, you know, left and right fronts, they're equal channels. So yeah, the left one sounds just slightly quieter, just a tiny bit, because it's closest proximity to a driver, so I guess it was tuned like that. I've seen lots of these amps and you won't hear it, but if you bench test it, there is slight volume volume change. You can hear it. Probably a tuning, you know, one of these. I'm actually gonna go and take a look at each and every capacitor just for my own sake, I guess. I'm just looking right now. I don't see anything immediately different, but there's got to be something, maybe on the other side. Well, anyway, now let's move on. The biggest problem I had here is with the center channel, because whoever worked on it, I don't know if you can see it, I'll try to zoom on it, and that's not zoom. Right here in this very area, the power line was cut. So that means that whoever had this amplifier before, trying to work on it, I guess, I don't know, they just cut in they just cut off the center fill. Center speaker was completely disconnected from this whole amplifier, because there was the eaten board underneath one of the capacitors, and what was going on is it would play, but then it would just enter some sort of this feedback loop and it starts to make these weird sounds. So I guess somebody who tried to work on it changed a couple of capacitors here and even swapped chips places, and still could not get rid of that feedback loop because there was a problem on the board. Some others, electrolyte leaked through. This is all cleaned up, by the way. I mean, I cleaned it to the best of my ability because the damage is there. Not much I can do about the damage already. So some metal was eaten up on this channel right here. This one would not play at all. Power circuit was completely disconnected from the chip. This one they did connect it, so that was also eaten up. On this other side, oh yeah, another thing is, when I was working on it, I felt like these cables here, they were so kind of like bent and they were moving so easily, and the 3-4 times I opened and closed it, they broke off. Basically both of them just completely broke right off, and I had to cut them all up and then solder them back in. A little shorter now, but not a big deal. Now on this board, all of these little openings, they're destroyed. There is no connection from this side of the board to the other side of the board. The acid completely ate the metal, so therefore I made these jumps, right? These little jumps on all channels, just for good measure, because this one looks the cleanest, as you can see, this little one, but these ones bad. Now That's another bypass I made, another bypass, and there was some other things I've done on the other side. You can't see it. I also removed this chip because I had a question about this particular channel. It turned out not to be the chip. Tiny little things. This one was bad, this one was bad, and this one was bad. These are resistors. And I believe I also replaced this capacitor here because this thing was just messed up. I also replaced one other resistor. I mean, I don't know. I just spent hours and hours on this, but because I don't like to see videos that are not finished, so I just want to show that this one is repaired. So now, like I said, it's playing royalty-free music. I have my rig here set up where I have obviously the amplifier, and then here I got the radio. This is one of my old radio with Bluetooth connection, so I can play music from my secondary phone, and it's all connected to factory radio. That's my point. These are the speaker outputs, and we're just gonna go and check out the output. I have to work on volume control on the radio. That's why it's also here. Okay, so center fill, center speaker. Crossover seems to be correct. No bass, just high, mid, high frequencies properly playing. Now front door, one of them. This is full pass. That's how it's set up. So this one plays. Next, same thing, full pass, front door. We got to the small speakers in rear doors. This is the coupe, so the rear speakers are in the front door, but in the back of the door, behind, all the way in the corner of the front door, because the door is so much larger than 4-door vehicles. That's another one. And woofer. This speaker cannot produce bass, so you know, it just distorts whatever, but it is properly playing. The next woofer. It is what it is with the speakers, so that's all I can do, because otherwise, if I play it loud, I can blow it. Probably not, but still, I don't want it to distort. Now, the back plate can go back. The board can go back into this black plate, so I'm gonna put it in properly, the tab on. So this part of the amplifier is finished. The next part of the amplifier down under, that will be done when I receive my capacitors. I just place an order. So you will also see on this side here, you see these areas that are sort of dirty here. This is from the foam, so the foam just transferred over onto the board. Nothing to worry about. No big deal. So that's not a problem. So yeah, that's the amplifier part number, and this is the C. That's the coupe version. All right, and this amplifier is good to go. The funniest fact about all of this situation is that I do have perfectly working amplifier, a replacement amp right here. And this one came from a parts car, slightly different part number, and it's a 98, although it will play. But yeah, here's the amplifier. So I could have just put this on. It's 140 part number, same as this one, but this is older, and a coupe, and this is W. So this is a 4-door. See this W here, this is W, that means 4-door vehicle. And it's from it's a 3789 part number versus 2389. So for that reason, I could have made it to fit and work, but I decided to go with original coupe amplifier. All right, so another long video. I don't know if it helps somebody or makes sense or what have you, but it is what it is. That's these amplifiers. Yes, given that you can buy these used, But when you buy used amplifier, let me show you something about used amplifier. That's gonna be funny. I got another amplifier here. Used amplifier. That's how it came, with serious water damage throughout the whole amplifier. There goes our water damage. So this is the used amp for you, and it was positioned that the amp works properly. Tested. Those legs right there on the chip is like corroded away. It's just like one of them is missing completely. It's just like, how can you even claim that this amp is operational? You see here, legs missing, absolutely not there. That's that. So yeah, this is awesome. I mean, you know, that is the used amp. So you see all this water damage around here, obviously water damage on chips. I kept it because I can use it for parts. Significant water damage here, 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 acid most likely on top of all that. So used amp, cheap, might play for a little bit even. This one was dead, by the way, because I plugged it in. It's just like it wouldn't even play any speakers but subwoofer. It's just subwoofer played. All the other speakers are totally silent, popping, making noises, but silent. I mean, in terms of music. So that is what you get. So therefore, rebuilding this particular amp properly, that is probably the best solution. That's the way I see it. I don't think it makes any sense to go for used amps. They won't last anymore. I mostly work on the older amps, but apparently these also start failing, and it's just, they also would need to be rebuilt, and that's what I will be doing. I will be rebuilding these also, because many amps I've seen, many cars I've seen with this style amplifier already failing. So it is time for them. Okay, so this is it. It's a long video again, but I just didn't want to edit anything. Just lay it all out and call it a day. All right, Victor here, restoringmercedes.com. Thank you for watching.